Hi guys, so here I am, my name is Alexander Panasuk from the Stablecoin Foundation. I'm here with Srinjoy and Stuart from Auditchain. So I'd like to welcome you guys to the Stablecoin New York trade event.
A pleasure to be here.
Yeah, it's great to have you guys. So tell us a little bit more about why you guys are here and what you're doing right now.
So I'm here because I co-authored the first paper about the blockchain. This was before many people at this event were born. In 1990, I was a young researcher at BECON, Bell Communications Research, a researcher in cryptography, the science and engineering of protecting information. And my colleague, Scott Stornetta, came to me with a question. He thought we might be able to tackle how to timestamp a digital document.
Interesting.
That was the title of our paper when we did solve it. And in that paper and in a follow-up paper a year or so later, we came up with the data structure now known as the blockchain. We didn't call it the blockchain in 1990-91.
What was it called back then?
Sometimes it was called hash-linked timestamping.
Okay.
We offered our service digital timestamping. That's pretty catchy.
Yeah.
Well, our service, in fact, gathered record requests into blocks,
yeah,
just like the Bitcoin blockchain, linked them together exactly in a Merkle tree for experts who know what that is. Never mind for those who don't. But exactly the way records are linked using hash functions, digital fingerprinting, as it were, in the Bitcoin blockchain and in every blockchain project that's being talked about here.
So, most people don't understand the importance of timestamping, right? If you're not, unless you're technical. So explain to people why timestamping is so important.
Okay, in any, to make it pretty down to earth, in any financial system, it's important to record the transactions so that my promise to send you $17 or 17 Bitcoin cannot be changed into my promise to send you $1,700 or Bitcoin or 17 Bitcoin cents.
Yeah, and today databases do that, right? And so there's a transaction, and there's a record of when it happened, the date timestamp, right?
And the transaction, though, the timestamp in a transaction recorded in a conventional database is just some numbers and letters written down next to the number, Stuart, Alex, $17, November 3rd.
Yeah.
Those can be changed.
Yeah. So it's not immutable, I think is your point, right?
So what Stornetta and I did in inventing the blockchain was offer a solution to immutable, unforgeable timestamping of digital records.
And that's also transparent, that anybody can audit and look at whenever they want.
Right.
Yeah. So tell me, so that was done in the 90s, which is kind of revolutionary if you think about Satoshi Nakamoto's paper only being 10 years ago.
Yes.
You're talking about something that you did over 20 years ago, right? Almost 30.
Almost 30 years
wow.
ago.
So that's pretty amazing. I actually didn't know that until I met you. And so please explain the first use case of this.
So in fact, so we spoke about digital documents, but for us a digital document was any kind of record stored on a computer, a server, a mainframe. We told mainframes were within.
You're dating yourself.
Yes, of course. But nowadays on your cell phone, maybe stored in the cloud.
Yeah.
But we were working for a business, and the first business use case that we had in mind was for verifying the authenticity, the integrity of business records, for example, for audit purposes. And now, come full circle, 27 years later, I joined a project called Auditchain. My colleague Srinjoy is our security and blockchain engineer at Auditchain, where we are bringing cryptographic verifiability as Scott Stornetta and I worried about in 1989 to the audit of business records. And we are enabling audit instead of in an annual or quarterly manner.
In instance.
Real time.
Real time. It's amazing. That's actually, for talking about blockchain disrupting almost every industry, you're disrupting the auditing practices of the major audit firms.
It could happen.
And accountants and what they do, right? So I'm curious. So tell me more about just at a high level technology. So what platform, what protocols, can people use you as a service? Do they have to be on your platform? Just give me the basics.
So, well, we're building on top of existing blockchain layers. So we'll be on layer 2 and we'll be blockchain agnostic. So whichever blockchain is good for a specific industry, whether it's aviation, retail, and whatever blockchain is being used, we can plug in and use as connectors to our enterprise solution, which allows accounting software, traditional ERP software, to basically plug in and allow an enterprise to report their financial statements in real time.
So I'm really excited to be talking to you guys because you're at the StablecoinNY trade event, and stablecoin issuers have a problem with regards to auditability. And actually, the Stable Report executed a survey with 37 respondents all over the world, and their number one issue were financial and technical audits, right? And very interesting to see that cryptocurrencies evolving into stable coins, and they're having this problem with being able to be transparent. Like we all know the Tether issue with audits. What kind of service could you provide these stable coins with regards to audit trading?
Like you said, so Tether's biggest problem is that they can't say that they have all these dollars that they're supposed to have and show that they back the USDT. Now, all of these small companies that are coming up, you said 120 stablecoins or more.
Yeah, and it's going to double next year probably or more.
Yeah, absolutely. So all of these are small enterprises that need some way of reporting their data, both in real-time basis and also with some sort of privacy that they want to have, some granularity over control over their data. So they want to share their data with the regulators who say, okay, we're auditing you, so we need to know how many whatever US dollars you have, but they don't necessarily need to share this with the world, right? So this permission-based access to their financial statements, their system controls, because system controls define how your records are stored accurately or whether they've been hacked. Yeah. All of these things can be done with our solution. So it'll be revolutionary for the stablecoin industry.
I'm really excited to be talking to you. I can't wait for the industry to know about your services, actually, and I think there's a great partnership here for your kind of services, honestly. So tell me more about how when you're going live, what's your value proposition with regards to engaging new customers and partnerships?
I mean, Stuart, you can jump in as well, but we're building the product. We're going MVP in about a month. So the roadmap is basically onboarding customers. We're the first customer of our solution, so we'll have.
That is, we will show our own records. We'll eat our own dog food, as the Silicon Valley expression goes, and demonstrate the sort of transparency that others can take on by showing how we do it ourselves. And that will be a basic version of this capability, and then it could easily take a year to build the full-fledged version of the product.
And are you going to be working with regulators or one of the big accounting firms, or how are you going to get partnerships to kind of like validate your tech solution, your business, and legally is it going to be acknowledged as being something that could be truly audited?
Right. Good point with regulators. We're working closely with regulators and will do. We have in our team a lot of ex-Big Four and also the founder of XBRL, which is the biggest or the most, it's the way the SEC gets their business filings in that format. It's a markup language.
So you were talking about your alliance of CPAs, and just talk a little bit about that alliance and what you're trying to do with it.
So for anybody who's interested in the project that Srinjoy and I have been describing, Auditchain's project, we invite you to join what we call the DCARP Alliance. That's DCARPE Alliance, which will be an organization of auditors, regulators, financial consultants, security consultants, and so on to advise us and weigh in on the all the questions that will come up as the blockchain world actually faces the question of allowing itself to be audited with good technical tools.
Yeah, well, I can tell you as the Stablecoin Foundation founder, we'd definitely be interested in talking more about how we can collaborate with you guys, because again, our industry is in dire need for auditing in a way that's immutable, transparent, and cryptographically protected and secure, but also in a manner that is recognized, right, by regulators and governments, and so in various jurisdictions, right, and that's a big challenge, I think. It's not really about the technology anymore, it's about really what's the legal framework around that, and how do we get it recognized, and as well as disrupting businesses. And so I think it's a great project what you guys are doing, very exciting, and look forward to talking to you some more about it.